Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Nature City Podcast. I'm your host, Carl Pradelli, and I'm also the CEO and co-founder of the company, having started Nature City over 20 years ago with my wife, Beth. And since then, it's been our pleasure to have served over 500,000 Americans by offering them the best supplements we can make. Typically, we are talking about all the good things and benefits, ways you can benefit from different supplement ingredients. Today, we got to talk about something that I wish we didn't have to, which is fraudulent products in the marketplace, which are becoming a bigger and bigger problem. And these, this fraud or outright scams, if you will, are coming in some different forms and fashions. And we're going to kind of cover those today. And we're also going to give you at the end some ideas on how you can avoid being taken advantage of, essentially, with products that are not what they say they are, and give you some actual concrete ways that you can avoid products that aren't what you want. I am joined today because we're going to be talking about a lot of different. This is happening, by the way, in a lot of different ingredients. It's happening in curcumin. It's happening in berberine. It's happening, with saffron. It's helping magnesium, astaxanthin, elderberry. A lot of different ways it's happening. And today we're going to talk a lot about aloe vera. Welcome back to the podcast, Jeff Barrie, and his 30 years in the aloe vera industry. Jeff, great to see you.
Thank you, Carl. Great to be here. Thanks for letting me join you with this. As you know, aloe is a very, very important part of my life. I've been involved in aloe vera for many, many years. I swear by it. And now that I'm 75 years old, it's more important to take care of your health.
No question about it. You're as passionate as anyone I know when it comes to aloe vera. And I think what really upsets you, which is why you wanted to join me today, is there's a lot of people out there not selling real aloe vera or just taking advantage of people. And, I know it's something you're passionate about as well as I am.
It sure is, Carl. And I quite honestly, when I see all the adulterated products that are out there, and especially the amount of adulterated aloe products are out there, honestly, it breaks my heart to see that. It breaks my heart that people are taking advantage of others, the cheating that's going on, and so many people not getting the benefits of aloe and not getting that attitude about aloe that it deserves.
No, it hurts everybody. It really does. It hurts, people who are legitimately need help and looking for help from aloe or one of the other supplement ingredients that are challenged. Or, and it hurts just the business for folks like us because, it gives us, it gives the industry it taints the industry. People may have tried aloe and said, it didn't really work for me. Not realizing they weren't really taking a real aloe product. So it's really bad for everybody.
Terrible. So, quite frankly, it happened to my brother. I was talking to my brother. He's always had stomach troubles. And I said, hey, try some aloe. So finally he does. He didn't ask me to supply it for him. He buys it at a store. He paid $5 for a gallon. And then a month later, he tells me, he says, hey, Jeff, this stuff doesn't work. I'm not going to drink it anymore. So, okay, well, what'd you buy? Okay, there's your problem. And then I sent him some, and then a month later he says, Jeff, you're right about this aloe. I'm feeling a lot better. So there it is. Right there in my own family, I saw that.
Well, as soon as I heard $5 a gallon, I knew there was something wrong. Aloe costs, real aloe liquid juice, if you will, from the gel shouldn't be costing you $5. So, that's one of the things. One of the tips is going to be, if it's too cheap, it's probably not real or authentic. So, Jeff, there's three ways I think about the three main ways that I think people are being deceived, and three ways the fraud is happening in the marketplace. One is simply at the raw material level, as you mentioned, adulterated raw materials. In the case of aloe vera, we often see starch or maltodextrin being pawned off as aloe vera. The second really is, we have ingredients that are subpar, right? Either in the processing of the ingredient or how it's handled after harvesting, it's lost potency, right? So even though some of it may be in the product, it's probably unlikely to help you. And the third way is just really the manufacturer or the brand or together, they are just underfilling. And by underfilling, we mean if the label says you have 100 milligrams of an ingredient in the product and it actually only has about 10, 20, or sometimes even 0 milligrams, that's the third major way that I'm seeing the fraud happening. One is the raw material adulteration, 2 is just subpar ingredients, and 3 is just underfilling relative to what's being promised on the label. Sound about right?
Absolutely. There's one other, and it's kind of a little minor one, but it really annoys me, is when I see a label that says 10,000 milligrams of aloe vera on the label. 10,000 milligrams sounds like a lot, but it's deceiving because it's 10,000 milligrams of 1X. And 10,000 milligrams of 1X aloe vera is about a third of an ounce. It's not enough to really give you any benefit. But you're absolutely right about the 3 that you mentioned. And I was told by people that I used to work with that they have been told by companies that, yes, we're buying aloe. Yes, we know it's adulterated. And yes, we don't care. I was shocked when I heard that. And then honestly, I heard that from an American company. Yeah, we know it's adulterated, but we got some aloe in there, and we're not saying how much, so we're okay with that. And we like the price of this particular product, and it works fine on our formula. And thanks for stopping by, but don't come back anymore.
It's sad. It's sad. The bad actors really at every level. They're at the raw material level, the manufacturing level, and then finally the brands who just say, you know what? We don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Very sad.
So,
Very sad.
It's really, really upsetting. On the raw material side of things, you have a lot of experience in this, and I'm sure you've encountered a lot. What are you seeing in terms of the supply of aloe that's out there that may not be legitimate?
I'm seeing aloe that is flat out adulterated, cut with maltodextrin, as you mentioned. I'm seeing aloe that was overprocessed. And I'm seeing aloe that is low quality. One of the things about aloe vera, it's not like orange juice. Aloe juice is not like orange juice. It's very involved. The leaves have to be hand-picked. They have to be filleted, and it's very labor intensive. And there's some ingredients that you need to use. One of the things that has to get done is removing the anthraquinones, which is another big issue. And we know that you use a coarse filtration, and that's an expensive part of the process. The more coarse filtration, the more charcoal needed, the more expensive it's going to be, and the more it's prone to cheating. You get what you pay for, and we see a lot. I saw a product once, this was some years ago. A company asked us to test it, and she gave us a sample of it. It was pure maltodextrin.
And I'm sure it was not being sold as maltodextrin. Well, I've heard, and you tell me, I've heard there are actually some farms, whether it be in China or wherever, that are really big major suppliers, not only to the U.S., but to the world, that are just outright selling adulterated material. Have you experienced that at all?
Yes, we have. The company I used to work for, Aloe Corp, one of the leading suppliers of aloe, they have an office in China, and they are calling on companies in China, and they were told, we're buying from, and I'm not going to mention the name of this company, but it's a good-sized company in China, very successful. We're buying from them, and we know it's adulterated, and we're okay with it. So here are companies buying aloe from a leading supplier of aloe vera, and they know it's adulterated. The company selling it doesn't care. People buying it don't care. So that's where consumers need to be smart. You need to find out what you're doing, and there's ways of doing it. I'm a big I'm a big supporter of the International Aloe Science Council.
Yes.
The IASC. The IASC has a certification program where products are tested for content and quality, and then you get the seal of approval. And then you know you're using good quality product. Simple as that.
No, Nature City, we've been using the phrase, the IASC seal proves it's real, right?
That's right.
I mean, we only use IASC aloe vera products and materials because it's really the only way you can legitimately, it's the only independent source out there that really cares about the business of aloe vera and consumers who are using aloe vera to make sure they're getting legitimate and authentic products. So that's a great tip. Look for the IASC seal in the aloe vera products you're using, whenever possible. Another thing, Jeff, it's interesting. You mentioned the customer that that you tested the product for them and found there was no aloe in the product at all. A few years ago, there was actually I thought it was a big story. It should have been a bigger story. I think it was actually Bloomberg News, to give them credit. They actually tested some topical aloe products from major retail chains. Again, we don't have to name names, but most of us have been in one of these stores in the last couple of months, I assure you. And it was shocking, at least it was shocking to me, that they had an aloe gel. So that's what the product was. It wasn't like a skincare product with some aloe vera. This was marketed as an aloe vera gel. And they used some reputable labs to do the testing. A couple of people tested it also. And I don't know, you tell me what happened.
Well, they tested it. They couldn't find any aloe vera in the product. And to put things short and sweet, lawsuits ensued. A lot of talk, a lot of finger pointing. Eventually, it got to a judge, and the judge says, hey, wait a second, I don't think you've proved anything here, and he threw it out of court. I was at a seminar with a gentleman, a lawyer. He presented the story, and I said to him, boy, it sounds like open season on selling adulterated aloe, because the courts, they're saying to you, this is it's not a legal issue. It's a commercial issue. It's not the court to do it in, and that's going to require a lot of financing, a lot of money to bring a lawsuit like that. So people are just backing away. But again, consumers, buyers beware. Make sure you're buying a quality product.
Yes. Do you know if do those products stay in the stores? Do you know?
I think they were recalled and taken out. It was a big issue. It was in the media. It was pressed pretty well, and I think these stores just pulled it out, kept their reputations intact.
Yeah, I mean, I recall another story. This is a few years ago too, where certain marketers like to say their aloe juice tastes like water, right?
Yeah.
And if any of us have tasted aloe before from the gel, it doesn't look or taste like water, right?
No, not at all.
So you're very skeptical if you know anything about aloe, that someone marketing theirs as tasting like water. Well, it's probably something very close to water and not aloe, right?
Right.
So, and this was brought to the attention of, again, a major retailer, and they were surprised and said they were going to take action, but I don't know, I guess the economics took precedent, and they were selling a lot of this product, and they just continued to sell it.
Yeah.
Which it was just, again, these are just sad stories, but also remarkable stories. But unfortunately, they're happening a lot.
Yeah.
Nothing's come to attention to, Jeff, and I give a lot of credit to Now Foods, another supplement brand, who really has been testing. They really, take it upon themselves to do a lot of testing of products that are being sold on Amazon and some of the other online platforms. And what they've done found a lot of testing, and they've tested a lot of different classes. I don't think they've done aloe, but I know they've done magnesium, they've done berberine, they've done astaxanthin, some other categories you may recall, Jeff, too. Yeah. But it's kind of scary what they found, right? There's products literally with nothing. I mean, forget like underfilling. It's just these products don't have the ingredient on the label at all, which is just, it's just remarkable.
It hurts. It's amazing that companies can do this at very little repercussion. They just continue and continue. But I really, like you said, I really hand it to Now Foods. Jim Emmy is the CEO. I believe he's also the main owner or the owner.
Okay.
He took it upon himself. This is what we need to do, and he's pointing some accusing fingers at companies, and rightly so. The other thing that Now Foods is doing is they found that there are counterfeit supplements being sold online. Counterfeit supplements. We always think about counterfeit as counterfeiting Gucci purses or Callaway golf clubs. But it's gotten to the point now where they're counterfeiting supplements. Now Foods found some supplements counterfeited online being sold by Amazon.com.
Yep.
And it's everywhere now. It's not just in the stores; it's online. It's a big issue. And again, buyer beware. Just make sure you're buying from.
Yeah, no, and in case it wasn't clear what Jeff means by counterfeit, they're actually replicating the label, putting who knows what inside the bottle, and reselling it on Amazon or some other places as a legitimate product, which is, I don't know which one of these are the worst case of fraud, but they're all they're all really bad, but they're all happening in the marketplace. And, it's remarkable. Another organization that has, has taken a little bit of a lead, and I think they've always kind of done this, but they've been maybe even more active recently. And I think you know them, Jeff, pretty well. The American Botanical Council. I think I have that right.
Yes.
Mark Blumenthal, I think, runs that organization. But they're very much about promoting, adulteration and other problems in the botanical and herbal world. Have you seen much from them lately?
I've talked with Mark Blumenthal, the legendary Mark Blumenthal, I like to say.
Legendary.
Mark was the founder of ABC, and his program he started not too long ago. He calls it BAPP, B-A-P-P, Botanical Adulteration Preventative Program. And he's doing a great job. He's calling out a lot of companies for what they're selling and doing a lot to make consumers aware that, like we've been saying a few times already, buyer beware, check this product out. And if it's the cheapest, chances are it's not quality. And when it comes to supplements, you need quality. It's not like the cheap frying pan is gonna cook it different than the expensive frying pan. You better have quality products to really take good care of your health.
No, there's no question about it. I know one publication they did, and it was involving, I think, elderberry.
Yeah.
Which, had become hot in recent years and was one of the leading botanicals sold. It was remarkable. I can't remember the exact percentage of what they found of how many products were adulterated or not real elderberry, but I think it was greater than 50% of what they found. And it was quite remarkable. Again, a lot of it economically driven. A lot of people were using a black rice extract, which, when it's converted to a powder, it looks a lot like elderberry, but obviously has none of the immune health benefits of elderberry. It's one thing it does have, it's about 30 times cheaper than elderberry, right? So, that provides quite the economic incentive. And then you had people just dyeing other fruit ingredients to make them look like elderberry, which is just wild stuff, just incredible stuff. I'm sure, Jeff, in your 30 years in the aloe business, you encountered a lot of people was like, well, geez, you're too expensive, Jeff. I'm paying 80% less or something like that. Or,
Heard it all the time, quite a bit. I like to point out to people, specifically with aloe, but I think it's going to be with a lot of botanicals. It's not cheap to process this product. A lot of these powders are spray dried, freeze dried. It's an involved process. Takes some time and it's expensive. One thing about aloe, though, and I know I'm harping on aloe because my two favorite subjects in this world is my children, my grandchildren, my great grandchildren. I lump them into one, and the other is aloe vera. But to make 1 kilo of aloe vera 200x powder, which is what's used in capsules, you need 400 kilos of aloe vera leaf. 400 kilos that are hand-picked, that are hand-fed into a machine to fillet it, that have to be decolorized, that have to be processed, that have to be spray-dried, freeze-dried. It's expensive. And if you think you can buy something, a month's supply of aloe capsules for $5-6, you're crazy. It's not going to happen. Think about it, folks. I tell people just stop and think. Does this make sense? No, it doesn't. It's too cheap. And why is this bottle selling for $5 and this one's selling for $15, this one's selling for $18, this one's selling for $20? Because it's cheaper. Its quality isn't there.
It's basically not real.
I keep telling you, buy from reputable companies. Buy from Nature City. Buy from somebody someone who's willing to put his face on the line and his name on the line for quality products.
Oh, I appreciate that. And frankly, I agree with you. It's the bottom line is you have a lot of people in the business for the wrong reasons, right? You have a lot of people who just see an opportunity to make some money. Maybe they know how to sell products on these, whether it be Amazon or somewhere else, and they get into the business, and whether they do it knowingly or maybe they're taken advantage of, they end up selling fraudulent products.
Exactly.
And, you can make money doing that for some time, some cases, a very long time until people figure it out. I mean, some of the challenges, it's always nice when someone expects to have a reaction to a supplement, right? I mean, by reaction, I mean a positive benefit that they can feel or detect. But, there's a lot of things we take. I mean, it could be CoQ10, omega-3s, a multivitamin. I mean, you're not taking that because you're expecting any type of immediate, necessarily noticeable benefit in your health. But, it's to maintain your health over, as you age and hopefully age better, right? And,
right.
Man, I mean, it's really hard. It's really maybe hard to know you're being fooled or conned, right?
I was at, not too long ago, I was at a high school reunion. And then we met a few of my high school friends, and they're doctors now. And we got into talking about pharmaceuticals versus nutraceuticals. And my point was, guys, nutraceuticals are not cures. They're for prevention. They're to increase your immune system. Increase the prebiotics and the probiotics. They're not here to cure you. They're here to just help you and help you live a healthier, natural lifestyle.
Right.
And that's really what it's about. And you're not going to take aloe or CoQ10 or any of these ingredients and, an hour later, you're going to feel great. It's not going to happen. It takes time. It definitely takes some time, and be prepared.
Yeah. A lot of times you're just talking about health maintenance versus anything else, or just like, we want to live, not only longevity is important in terms of how long we live, but the quality of life. Right. So, that's really why we do what we do. So Jeff, I think we kind of, hopefully we weren't too gloomy here about what's happening, but we really wanted to share what we're seeing out there in the market, because it's a problem. I
appreciate it, Carl. I really appreciate you bringing this subject up. I appreciate us talking about it. You and I can probably go on for a couple of days talking about aloe and the benefits of taking your supplements and a healthy lifestyle. I wish we can't force everybody to do it, but I wish more and more would start taking care of their health. You'll be happier. Your family will be happier. Everything will be better.
Well, now that we kind of laid out the problem as best as we probably could, we got to share some solutions with folks and how they can really go about finding good supplements, good skincare products, and basically not be scammed, right? And I kind of, I have three things. I want to get your thoughts and advice on this too. I have three things I advise people. Number one, it does start with the brand. I mean, Nature City, people know me, they know Beth. We're not hiding from anybody. We're here to help you. And, we've been doing this a long time, over 20 years, right? So that's the first thing I say to folks. Really, you have to look at the brand and who's behind the brand. Why are they in this business? Are they really here to help people, or are they here just to try to make some quick money? Because we know a lot of bad actors, that's their motivation. They just want to make some quick money. So you really have to look into, research. And the one great thing about the internet these days, and the good and bad, right, is you do have the ability to research these companies a little better and really see why they're in this business, what makes them tick. So that's number one. You have anything to add to that?
No, there's an old saying, a fish stinks from its head down. Well, a fish is great from its head down too. And a company is great from its head down. So like you said, here you and Beth Wright are, and, take Now Foods. Here's Jim Emmy. He's out in front. He's not afraid to show his face. So look for the brand, the popular brands. They've got a reputation protect. So you got to figure you're going to get some quality product with that.
So number one, so definitely, you have to spend some time getting to know the brand. Unfortunately, this is not like Jeff, it's not like buying a pair of socks or shoes. I mean, putting something inside your body every day, and it's going to affect your health, hopefully in a good way. But if it's a fraudulent product, it's not going to help. So the brand is number one. Number two, and I think this is just as important, and Jeff, I think you'll feel this way having worked with Aloe Corp and Active Aloe, the branded ingredient there for so long, is really look for the branded ingredients in your formulas.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me explain why a little bit here. And this is what we really focus on in Nature City. I'm not just saying this because this is what we do. It's really what we believe in. When you use a branded ingredient, there's a few benefits. One, that company's name and their logo is on the bottle along with us. So their reputation is at stake along with ours when you take that product. If you have a good experience, it's going to be great for them. If you have a bad experience, it's not going to be good for them. Number two, these ingredients tend to be a lot higher quality. All right, because a lot of them are backed by, scientific studies, by clinical trials. And Jeff, you could tell folks these studies are not cheap to do. Right, we're probably talking about several $100,000 at a minimum to a good quality trial. And generally, you're not going to invest that money in this research if you're selling a cheap and inferior and kind of garbage ingredient. That's another reason why the branded ingredients tend to be higher quality. And in the case of like an Active Aloe from Aloe Corp, really top notch in terms of the category. Jeff, again, I know you come from Aloe Corp where you guys kind of believe in that philosophy too. Is there anything you would add to that?
Absolutely. Aloe Corp had Active Aloe. It was a brand we tried to, when we first started it, we said like, how they have this Intel inside? We're going to have Active Aloe inside. Well, we never hit the heights of like Intel has, but other companies have done the same thing. They've created a logo. There's a grapeseed extract that was very popular for a while, also a branded ingredient. There's a few. There was an ashwagandha that had a branded ingredient, did very, very well. And the reason why is, you're getting quality. They're bragging about their product. They're putting their name on the product. Yeah, this is ours. We're bragging about it, and it better be good quality.
Well, that's exactly it, right? I mean, they're not going to invest in the science unless they're using something, and just like Aloe Corp has, you're going to use your best product, your best quality product, to do that. And if you're going to put your name out there, you better live up to the expectations that it's going to deliver what you promise.
Exactly. Exactly.
So branded ingredients is really the second thing to look for with a company, and investing in the company and its brand and its reputation being number one. The third thing, and Jeff, you kind of touched on this earlier, is price. Okay. When you see outliers in price, that should be a pretty good tip that there's a problem. I mean, yes, companies, we have our promotions and sales and stuff like that. But as a general matter, if most people are selling a product around $20, when you start seeing it 10, 8, or even less, that should automatically cause you to pause and really think, is this thing legit? Because I'm going to tell you, in most cases, there's something wrong.
That's right. Exactly. I have what I like to call my famous shovel story. This go back about 40 years. Moved into a house and bought some garden tools. Bought the cheapest shovel I saw in the store. Went back the next day, bought the most expensive shovel that was in the store because the first one broke. That shovel, 40 years ago, my grandson is using it now. There's a reason for something being a little more expensive, and that reason is quality. And if you can't afford quality, then you're hurting yourself. And then actually it's coming out, it's costing you more than if you spent more for it. Particularly with supplements, because they're so important to maintain your health.
They really are. And, again, you're putting this, shovel, it's one thing, but again, something you put inside your body every day, I think that raises to almost a higher standard, right? I mean, you really want to make sure, do a little more homework before you choose something that you are going to ingest, right?
Exactly.
So,
exactly. Just like going out for dinner, you're going to go someplace where the food tastes good. You're not going to, you want quality no matter what. And particularly if it's a supplement that's supposed to be helping you for your health, then it is helping you for your health. So,
absolutely.
And me with aloe, if it's not, and I like to say with aloe vera, if it's not certified for content quality by the International Aloe Science Council, you have no idea what you're getting. Could be very good quality, could be pure maltodextrin or something in between. So, absolutely, we agree with that. Look for the right product, and you'll stay healthier and be a lot happier.
So I think we have it. Again, it's investigating the brand and the company and the people behind the brand. It's choosing the higher quality branded ingredients that are generally of superior, not only efficacy, but safety from generic ingredients. And 3, if it's, you get what you pay for, right?
Right.
If it's too cheap, generally there's a reason why it's so cheap.
Exactly.
It's probably not authentic. So,
exactly.
Is there anything else you could think of, Jeff, that, any tips that you would share with the audience in terms of how to protect themselves from these, fraudulent products?
Mainly what were the 3 that we just discussed. And, the other thing, just good old fashioned common sense. Just stop and think about it. This one, like I said earlier, this one's $10. This one's $3. Why is there such a difference? The other thing you can do is read the labels and get a little more adept at the metric system, so you know that 10,000 milligrams of 1X aloe is not a lot of aloe. Although it sounds great, it's not there. But I think mostly, Carl, look for branded ingredients, look for reputable companies with reputable owners. Good quality product is out there, and find the good quality companies and take good care of your health.
Well, Jeff, it's always a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you,
really
Paul.
is.
Pleasure talking with you as always.
Absolutely, and really enjoy your passion and your integrity and everything else that you bring to the industry. Really appreciate it, and glad that even though you're retired, you're not totally retired, and going to still fight the good fight here.
I'm still pushing good health and good aloe and good quality products, and I hope to do that for the next. I just turned 75. I hope to do that for at least another 25 years.
At least.
Okay.
At least.
Thanks a lot, Carl.
Anyway. Absolutely, our pleasure. So, folks, that's it for this week's episode. You can like our podcast, or frankly, just subscribe if you like these episodes. You can also listen to us on your favorite streaming service. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, we're on Google Podcasts. Also, go to the Nature City website, and you can sign up for our email lists. And every week, you'll be alerted when there's a new episode that drops, so you won't miss anything important that's happening in the supplement world. So I'm Carl Pradelli, and I will see you next week.